So we're looking at homework from section 4.3 today. This is question number 7. Find the indicated probabilities using the geometric distribution, the Poisson distribution, or the binomial distribution. Then determine if the events are unusual. If convenient, use the appropriate probability table or technology to find the probabilities. A football player completes a pass 63.6% of the time. Find the probability that A, the first pass he completes is the second pass, B, the first pass he completes is the first or second pass, and C, he does not complete his first two passes. So let's start with part A. Before we can do anything else, we have to decide what kind of a distribution this is. So for the quarterback, we're trying to figure out when his first successful pass is. When we look at the probability of first success, that tells us that this is the geometric probability distribution formula. With this geometric probability formula, we need to know the value of P. Well, it says his completion percentage is 63.6%, so P will be 0.636. Q is 1 minus P, so that's going to be 0.364. And in part A, we are looking for the probability the first pass he completes is the second pass, so that would mean X is equal to 2. We use this probability formula where we do Q, which is the probability of failure, to the X minus 1 times P. So we're looking for the probability of first success on trial 2, which is going to be 0.364, which is our Q, to the X minus 1, that's 2 minus 1, times P, which is 0.636. The power is 2 minus 1, so the power on the 0.364 is the first power. So this ends up being 0.364 times 0.636. And if we multiply those together, we get 0.231504. Rounded off to 3 decimal places is 0.232. That's our answer for part A. For part B, we can just do the same thing we did in part A, but we'll do it twice because it's the probability that the first pass he completes is the first or second pass. We actually already computed the probability that the first pass was the second pass in part A, so we just really need to do one more thing here. So the probability that the first success is on pass 1, where X is 1, is going to be 0.364 to the 0 times 0.636, which is 0.636, because 0.364 to the 0 power is 1. And then from part A, the probability that the first success was on pass 2 ended up being 0.231504. Now we have to add these together. And if we add these together, we get 0.867504, rounded to 3 decimal places is 0.868. And that's your answer to part B. In part C, what's the probability that he does not complete his first 2 passes? Well, we just got finished finding the probability that the first pass he completes is the first or second pass. So this is actually going to be a complement of what we just did in part B. It's 1 minus the probability that the quarterback makes a pass on the first or second try. So that's going to be 1 minus the 0.867504, which is 0.132496, rounded to 3 decimal places, is 0.132. And that's your answer to part C. The last thing we're asked is, are any of these events unusual? And remember, our criteria for being an unusual event is that the probability has to be less than 0.05. Well, were any of these probabilities less than 0.05 in part A or B or C? And the answer to that is no. None of them were. They were all in excess of 5%. So none of these are unusual, which is choice D. And that's your answer.